Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the video for Free Pattern Friday and I am extremely sorry that it's late, but of course better late than never, and it is still Friday. It is the evening time. I haven't had time this week to prepare it so that it was there ready for you this morning, so I do apologise, but I'm going to show you what I've been collecting this week and show you. There is quite a lot of Christmas bits, and I've got a couple of wearables and then only a couple of amigurumi. But that is quite heavy on the Christmas, just because I thought obviously we haven't got very much time when we're preparing things, and so I thought I would start or carry on, because I have shown some Christmas stuff, haven't I, the last couple of weeks, but just in case. I mean, there's some things that don't take so long, but also some things that could take a while. And I had a request for some placemats and different things for Christmas, so I've included those as well, so I will not delay. As I say, the week has been quite busy for me and quite a bit stressful, and I didn't even realise that it was Thursday yesterday. Even though I knew it was going to be Friday today, it just didn't dawn on me that I hadn't done my video. So again, I am extremely sorry, but I hope that you still managed to catch up over the weekend with this video. So grab yourself a cuppa and we will have a look and see what I found. Okay, so we'll go straight in with the Christmas bits, and I found a dishcloth, and I know that I've done something similar in past weeks, maybe back in the July, maybe even, but I thought I saw this and I thought I would show it because it's just nice to have all the little Christmas bits and pieces around. And this is just a straightforward filet crochet dishcloth, and the measurement is 10 inches by 10 inches, and it's double crochet cloth using cotton, because obviously cotton is the best thing really for it, and they're using a 2.5 millimeter hook, and they're using rainbow cotton 8/4, and there is the link to buy it from Hobie if you would like to buy it from them, so that you're using the exact stuff. But if you've got your favourite cotton that you like to use, then of course you could use that, couldn't you? And that's all fine. And that's literally all I have to tell you, because on the next page it just went straight into the pattern. But all in all, it was just something quick that I thought I could show you, and it's also nice just to have a little tiny bit of detail, and it takes no time at all to work up really once you get the hang of it. So there is that one, and I'm going to put them down on the floor so that I can just pick them back up. And now I'm going to show you a holiday ripple garland. Now this I thought was quite a good idea in place of tinsel on your tree. Now I myself love the beads. I put beads on, and I've got very small and thin tinsel that I put on my own tree, and of course I can show you that this year, can't I? When I managed to put my tree up in the front room, I can show you it, because you know, it's just, my tree looks lovely and I take pride in my tree. But I thought this would be a lovely idea to have in the place of tinsel or anything really, or just even in addition to it. But this is the holiday ripple garland, and it says crochet a few rows of ripples to garnish your tree in home crafted style. This clever idea can be done with neons, pastels, classics, holiday red, or even patriotic red, white and blue. The choice is yours. And of course they're saying to use Red Heart Super Saver, and they're also saying to use a 5.5mm hook. Of course, it's a 4 or medium weight yarn, so that's roughly around about an Aran, but of course you could even use DK if you didn't want it so thick, or anything, anything you like. Use your favourite if you aren't fortunate enough to have Red Heart Super Saver. I'm sure that you can use anything you like. The notes for this garland are to keep the bottom of the garland from pulling, and try making the starting chain with a hook one size bigger than the rest of the garland, just so that it doesn't wrinkle up too quickly, I suppose, and it manages then to stay nice and flat. Each garland measures 52 inches, and it says to make 2, but of course even if you want to make 1, I wouldn't, it depends how big your tree is, I suppose. Each garland measures 52 inches or 132 centimetres long and 2 inches wide, which is also 5 centimetres wide if you work in centimetres instead. And the special abbreviations are double crochet 2 together, and of course that just means that you yarn over and then pull through 2 hoops on the hook, and then of course then you pull through the 3 when you've finished. But it all explains it in the pattern anyway. And that is that. I'm going to try and whiz through because I do have quite a few today, and I don't want to keep you so long now that it is evening time. I don't want to use up your evening too much. But that is the holiday garland, and like I say, I did think that it would be quite a nice idea. And of course you can use any colour, like I say, to do it with as well. So if you are a person that uses themes, then of course you can theme it nicely as well. And if you change your theme every year, you can always make a different one every year. It's not a problem at all. Okay, now we have got a Christmas star throw, and the throw measures 45 inches by 72 inches. Now again, like I said, some projects take longer than others, and even if you don't want it so big, then maybe you could make a smaller one or whatever. But I thought that this would be really nice, and it's in Christmas colours as well. And again, they're using the Red Heart Super Saver, and they're suggesting to use 3 skeins of each of the burgundy, the hunter green, and the Aran, which is the colour Aran, which is like a creamy white. But again, you can use any of the yarn that you like, and even any colours that you like. But I thought I would show you this just in case that you wanted to sit and have a project to do until December or something like that. The hook size that you need is a 5.5mm hook. Again, if you're using different yarn, then do follow what the yarn band says, and of course then use the needle that is appropriate for it. But they do, and the motifs, which I'm assuming is the whole diamond shape, and then the half motif is the half ones, maybe on the edges. But the notes are: check the motif placement carefully, referring to the diagram, and beginning at the upper right hand corner, sew the motifs together. And then of course there is an edging as well. Oh, and the skill level is intermediate for this one as well. But I just thought it was a different take on a Christmassy blanket. If you can hear my children, oh, I forgot. Here is the diagram as well for the diagram, because they were on about the diagram. But if you can hear my children, they are upstairs. My daughter's got her friend over, and I did say to make sure that they were quiet, but if you do hear them through the ceiling, I am very sorry. now I'm going to show you a wall hanging, because I had it suggested to me to see if there was a wall hanging for Christmas of any sort, and I won't lie, I have not found very many that were very appealing, but I did choose this one, and I did think that this one would be quite an idea if you had only a small place that where a tree wasn't, you know, you don't have much room for a tree, and you'd much rather just have one so that on the wall, so it does look like you've actually got one in your house. But I thought that this would be really nice, and then you crochet the bits and pieces on it to make it look like a real tree. So I thought that would be a lovely idea, and it says this, use this wonderful decoration as an advent calendar. We have shown it with 12 mittens and 12 stockings that can be filled with goodies to enjoy this December day leading up to Christmas. Each December day leading up to Christmas. This fun crochet project will be displayed year after year as part of your family tradition. And again, they're using Red Heart Super Saver and a, trying to find the hook, can I find it? This one is a 4.25mm hook. They're suggesting to use Susan Bates, and that's my favourite hooks. But if not, I think a 4.5 if you don't have the ones that are in between, because there isn't very many makes that do the 2.5s or the 7.5s. Sorry, 0.75s. And the wall hanging measures 24 inches by 30 inches long. The special stitches are single crochets 2 together, single crochet 5 together, which is 5 times yarning over and drawing through 6 loops on the hook. The special technique is join with a single crochet. And the notes: wall hanging is made from a backdrop tree and ornaments. The backdrop is made in rows with a rod pocket for inserting dowels or curtain rod. The tree and the star are made separately and sewn onto the wall hanging. The stockings and the mitten ornaments are made separately with a loop to hang them from buttons, and use a larger hook and hold 2 strands of yarn together for the backdrop and tree. All other pieces are made with smaller hook and single strands of yarn. To change colour, work the last stitch of the old colour to the last yarn over, and then yarn over with the new colour and draw through all the loops on the hook to complete the stitch, and proceed with the new colour. Cut the old colour off after. What else can I tell you? The pattern is by Michelle Wilcox. She features quite a bit in our videos on a Friday, doesn't she, with all the patterns? And I suppose that's because I do kind of lean on Yarnspirations quite a lot. The skill level is easy, and I just thought I would show it. I do remember showing something very similar. It may well have even been the same thing, but when I typed in wall hanging, this was the only one that came up, so I just wanted to make sure that I'd covered all the bases really. Now I'm going to show you as a pattern for the placemats. Now these are plain, but you can just use them in any colour. There are sparkly yarns out there to use, but they're using the Bernat Handicrafter Holidays in Christmas Red. And the measurements for these placemats are approximately 11 inches by 17 inches or 28 by 43 centimetres. The instructions are to chain 36 and then carry on through using single crochet, and then it just works up basically just like that. So it's really easy, and also it's quite a good thing for to be able to practice on as well, because it's just basic and straightforward. You can't really see it there, can you? Don't know if it's going to focus very well. But what it looks like is from the picture that the yarn is a sparkly one, I'm assuming. It does look quite sparkly. Like I say, the skill level is a beginner, and it doesn't actually say the pattern designer, so I'm assuming that it's just been put on the Yarnspirations site. And they're suggesting to use a 5mm crochet hook, but of course if you're using whatever yarn you fancy, then again use the hook that you need to suit that. And now we're going to I'm going to show you a table runner, and again I've kind of tried to think about things, you know, for the home, because a lot of people are saying that they are struggling to find things for the home. And there are more things for Christmas around the home because we decorate as a nation, don't we, really? And I just think that there's more chance to find things for the home when it is a seasonal thing rather than an everyday thing. But this is a holly table runner, crocheted with sparkly yarn and embellished with holly leaves and berries. This table runner will grace your table all season long. The table runner measures 14 inches by 56.5 inches, and they're suggesting to use Red Heart Holiday, and the crochet hook size is 5mm, and the runner is made from the centre out to the border's edge. To change colour in double crochet, you just work the last double crochet before the colour change until 2 loops remain on the hook. Drop the colour in use and then add the next colour onto the hook and draw through the loops on the hook to continue with the new colour. And then that is all I have to say about it, because it doesn't say, it's an intermediate pattern in fact, and it doesn't say the designer, but it does say that it was last updated in August 2019, and I did just print it off, so I'm assuming this is the latest one. But look at that, isn't that cute? I think that would be really lovely on a table, depending on the table that you have, I suppose. If you don't have a longer table, then maybe you could just adjust it and not do it so long. Okay, so now we have a pattern by Premier, and it's Holiday Cup Cozies. Now, I thought these were a good idea as a gift, mainly, and I went onto the Premier website, which I've only visited once since I've been doing the Free Pattern Fridays, but I thought I'd have a look just basically for the Christmas things, and I have found a few. The level is for a beginner, and the circumference at the bottom is 9¼ inches and the circumference at the top is 10¾ inches. So it starts off narrow like a cup does and then works up a little bit wider. And I think these would be good for the travel cups and things like that. But the material that they're suggesting is Premier Yarns Everyday Soft Worsted Anti-Pilling Acrylic. Well, again, you can use any yarn that you like. Use your favourite and use the hook that you need for your favourite yarns, of course. They're suggesting a 5mm hook, and then you'll need a tapestry needle, a removable stitch marker, 2 silver buttons for the belt buckles, and the stitch guide is for a picot stitch, and I'm assuming that that is depending on which one you use, because I wouldn't think you'd use it for every single one, but there are several patterns in one on this one, and the pattern has been on their website been created since 2017. There is a Santa, an elf, a peppermint cozy, a holly cozy, and a wreath cozy. And the pattern picture is there like that. And I just thought that they were quite cute. This one here, down here, you can see the wreath is actually a white cover with a wreath on there. And then each one is different, and I thought that they would be a lovely addition to any little stocking gift. And now, sticking with Premiere, I have found a chunky gnome. Now, I thought he was really cute and just had to show you how lovely he was. Now, again, this one says Premier Yarns Parfait. Now, this is a chunky one, which is basically the same as the Snug as a Bug or the Audi baby, like chenille sort of stuff. And again, if you don't really want to use, or you can't get hold of them because obviously it is an American company, then maybe just use your favourite yarns. But I thought it was a lovely addition just to show you, to see if that was something that appealed to you. And the hook size they're using is a 6mm for this type of yarn, but if you're not using this type of yarn, then that's fine. Do use the hook that is suggested for the yarn that you do use. And they're suggesting to use a magic ring to be able to make it. If you don't know how to make a magic ring, then you can always just chain 2 and put them all in the last chain from the hook, something like that. The pattern notes: when working in continuous rounds, place a marker in the first stitch to indicate beginning of the round. Move the marker up as each round begins, and join with a slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. The colour sequences for the hat changing, that's pretty easy and straightforward. It's detailed on the pattern. And the finished measurement is 15 inches. Now, of course, if you're not using this Chanel type yarn, then it may vary in size, but I think all in all, you get the gist of it really anyway. But I just thought I would show you that one because I did think he was quite cute. And now I've got several of the same thing as my, the saying goes in my family, same but different. Just hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Right, so in our house that we call it the same but different. But I've got the sacks, which I did show something like this again some months ago, but I think it wasn't the ones like this. It was just the ones that weren't in the chunky soft yarn. Again, it doesn't really matter what yarn you use, but I did think that these were cutesy. So I'm going to show you. First of all, we have the elf, and the circumference of this gift bag is 34 inches. The height is 19 inches. And again, it's using the Parfait Chunky in the Premier yarn. But I just really love it. I just think it's so cute. And the gauge is 4 inches, which is 10, and they're saying 10 single crochets by 11 rows. The pattern notes are that this bag is worked from the bottom up, beginning with one flat rectangular piece that is then joined to work in the round. Do not join at the end of each round. Instead, work in continuous rounds and use a removable stitch marker to mark the first stitch of the round and move the marker up with each subsequent round. The stitch guides are for magic ring and making a bobble. And the bag, it says the bottom of the bag, which is the boots, you chain 13 and keep going round, I suppose. I didn't print all the pattern off, obviously, because it was just basically to show you. But that is the elf. And then we have got the Santa sack. And this one is 34 by 19. I think that was the same. And the pattern notes are exactly the same for this one than that I read for the last one. And it says the notes: you will need to now work the final row to set up for the working in the round for the bag's body. But again, that's explained all within the pattern, and the pattern's there. The hook size is a 6mm hook. Again, if you're not using the chunky yarn, then of course it won't matter so much. You can just use what you need to use. But that is the Santa sack. And then, can't leave the snowman out, can we? We've got the lovely snowman. Now the snowman is just a tiny bit smaller. It's 29 3/4 in circumference and 16 inches high in height. But again, it's exactly the same pattern notes and hook size and everything. I just wanted to basically show you just wanted to show you the variation, really, basically. And if you wanted to make one for yourself rather than buy one. And then this is the last premiere one that we've got, and that is I'm sure I think I might be repeating myself this week, but it's all things that we have. I think I've done several before, but I'm sorry about that if I have. I seem to remember this one, but it's only just come to me, so I'm not sure. But Baby's First Stocking. And I thought that I would show you this one, mainly because it's an ideal way to practice bobbles if you're not very good. And also, even if it's not just for the first stocking, if you wanted to make it longer and larger, then you can quite easily. And the pattern notes for this is that the stocking is worked in rounds from the cuff down, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. To change yarn colours, then you know how to do that because I've repeated it and said it lots of times. And then you work over the strands of the old colour as you work in each row. Use the last page of this. See the last page for the skein diagram and the colour names referred to for this pattern. Again, I haven't printed all of it off, but I did think that it would be good just to show you. But I do remember maybe showing it to you before. I'm not actually sure. Okay, so now this is a tulip bag. Now, I thought this would make a lovely project, although it seems like a spring thing. I thought I would show you it because I came across it, and I think it's really good, quick technique. It's something you can use as like a sampler to be able to learn different stitches, and then to have something that looks like rows of flowers, I think is really, really lovely. And the pattern is One Stop Wonders by Hobie Design. There is hashtags for social media and the website for support that you can email them with any problems that you've got. You just need to give them the pattern number with the name, and they will help you as much as they can. It's recommended a 3.5mm hook, and they're suggesting rainbow cotton 8/8 for this one. But of course, even if you wanted to use DK, I don't think it would matter, because even if it did stretch a little, if you're only putting projects in it, it's not going to be any great weight. So even if you didn't want to do it with cotton and you wanted to do it with yarn, I think that would be super as well. And the pattern information is this adorable tote is made using the popular tulip stitch. It works up quickly and can be easily customized to fit your needs. The measurement for the panels are 12.5 inches by 10.5 inches, and the strap length are 15 inches by 1.75 inches wide. I've already said it's a 3.5mm hook. You need a tapestry needle, some scissors and stitch marker. And that is that one. So I just wanted to show you that one as well. And now we come to some bits and pieces. Oh, I said it was the last Premier pattern just now, but it's not. I've seen it. It's because basically what I did was separated it into Christmas, some wearables, and then some amigurumi. So I will show you in a moment. This one here is a flower power wrap, and there is a video tutorial for this as well. But it's using Premier yarns, and I thought that it would be quite good because the colour work is quite simple, and if you haven't done colour work before, it's nice to try and learn it when it's only small little things. And so you start at the bottom, and then you do that one, and then when you've finished with that one, the new colour starts. So you're not playing with two different colours or multiple colours to be able to try and achieve it. There it is there on the lady, and I just think that it would be a good starting point. And they're saying to use Premier Yarn Stitch Please or Superwash Worsted, which is 100% superwash wool, and it's in a 100-gram ball, if you're using this, of course. If not, then it's fine, you can just use any of your favourite, but they're saying to use a 5mm hook, and the finish measurements are 15.5 by 53.25. The techniques are a chain and half double crochet stitches, changing colours in the intarsia crochet technique using bobbins. The pattern notes are that this wrap is worked from end to end using the crochet intarsia technique and following the colour chart for colour placement. To crochet using the intarsia technique, you wind small bobbins of colour to be used each separate area of the colour. In the chart, changing colours according to the chart. To change colour, work the last yarn over, pick up the new colour and pull through to complete the stitch, and drop the unused colour attached to the bobbin to the wrong side of the work. Bobbins of yarn colours waiting to be used can always hang on the same side of your work, the wrong side. It is acceptable to mix in small sections of tapestry crochet technique by working a few stitches over unused colour strands where it makes more sense to do than to add a new colour bobbin. Usually when stitches just above are the same colour. Be careful to keep all floats and or unused colour strands on the wrong side of the work, and follow the colour chart from the bottom up, right to left on the right side rows, and from left to right on the wrong side rows. And again, like I say, there is a video tutorial for it. And weaving just to finish off, you weave in the ends and block the piece to finish the measurement. Block the piece to the finished measurements. So I just thought it would be an ideal thing to start learning on if that was the case. And now I'm going to show you something for a man, which is a herringbone scarf. And again, I thought of this for Christmas, and it's 9 3/4 width and 80 in length. Again, it's using the Stitch Please yarn, but again, you don't have to. And the colour of this is actually aubergine, but to the eye you'll see that it's purple. And a 4.5mm hook is used, or any needed to obtain the gauge. The pattern notes is that this scarf is worked flat from end to end, and you chain 39 and then carry on as the pattern suggests, and then you finish off the fringe with just some dangling bits that you don't need to sew in, basically. And so that is the herringbone. And again, I think this one's quite an easy one if you're a beginner and you're trying to just learn how to do it. It's quite straightforward. Okay, so now we're going to go back over to Hobie again. And we have got some granny mittens. Now, of course, these are quite cool if you're just starting out. And as much as they look a bit goofy, and they'll probably be way too big for your hands because they certainly look really long, I think it's a good starting point for anyone that's just starting out to learn how to do it. Again, they have got a support email for any questions you've got. There is a hashtags for social media. There is a yarn, a link to buy the yarn if you want to do that. And they're suggesting to use Friends Extra Fine Merino for this, which is 100% merino wool. You don't have to use it. You can use your favourite, but it was just an idea that you could learn as something if you're just starting out. The pattern information is that these soft and beautiful crochet mittens are worked in granny stitch with 2 strands of Friends Extra Fine Merino. This pattern contains instructions for adapting the size to your measurements and a photo guide. Skill level is advanced beginner. So I thought, again, like I said, that it would be nice if you're just starting out to learn how to do mittens. It would be a good starting point. And now we have got the Floriss Shawl by Albanese Design, 11Z's Design, and it's a Hobie design company. And the size is one size. The measurements are 15 inches by 65 inches in length. The pattern information is that it's a lacy octagonal floral motif, and the smaller squares joined together in this airy rectangular shawl. The motifs provide texture whilst colour changing yarn produces stunning yet easy to achieve results. The motifs are joined with an as-you-go method, and the tutorial photos are included so everyone can learn this method of joining. There's hashtags for social media and the yarn link if you want to purchase the yarn. And the octagon measures 5 inches from side to side. They're suggesting to use Twister Solid by Hobie, which is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. And they're also, the other yarn is Twister, and they are both a size 2 weight yarn. But again, you can use your favourite one. It doesn't really matter, I wouldn't have said. You can just use whatever. I think I would opt for DK, but it doesn't really matter, does it? And a 3mm hook. And that's it. That's all I have to say. But my light isn't really, it's a bit much, isn't it? But I just thought it was really pretty, and it also reminds me of spider's webs as well. So it all ties in with seasonal as well as just something to keep you warm on winter evenings or autumn evenings even. So that's that one. And then I've got another one called Open Book Wrap, and it's oversized triangle scarf with popcorn stitches. And I like the fact that it's all It's a bit like the Felix blanket, if any of you know what the Felix blanket is like. And of course, if you don't, actually, you can put that in the description box below. If you don't know what the Felix blanket is, then I can always show you. That's not a problem. But I like the fact that there's bobbles and the granny stitch. So it's involving lots of stitches again and different techniques for you to be able to learn. And I love the colours in this as well, even if you don't want to actually purchase the colours, which the yarn they're saying is Hobie's Happy Place DK weight, 50% wool and 50% cotton for this. Even if you don't want to use that, you can use your own colours and things. It's really, really lovely. And the hook suggested is 5.5 millimeters, and the finished dimensions are 80 inches wide by 40 inches deep, and the gauge is 4 inches by 4 inches. And they're suggesting to use 6 different colours. But again, you can just do whatever you like. But I enjoyed it, and I just wanted to show you as a different version, seeing as I am very shawly at the moment in showing you things. I just think it's something that you can grab just to put on your shoulders if you really don't want to wear a jumper, and cozy up. It's just really, really lovely. So I thought I would show you that one. And now we're going back to the doing for the homes. I showed you the dishcloth, and now I'm going to show you a kitchen towel. And I wanted to show you this just because it's, if you've got time to do things like that, it would be nice to be able to make your own. And they're suggesting to use rainbow bamboo, recommended crochet hook size 3.5 millimeters. There is a link for the yarn and to buy the yarn and the supplies for the kitchen towel is in the pattern. And the amount of yarn needed is approximately 4 ounces, which is 115 grams. The measurement is 16.5 inches by 13.2 inches, including the edge. And it's single crochet and double crochet with a chain and stitches. But I thought that it would just be nice to show you, because I've never come across one in that sense. So I thought it would be nice, just in case anyone does have the time, to be able to make their own and be a bit environment friendly. It's just nice to know that you can do that sort of thing and have a pattern to follow. And so that is all there is for that. And then last but not least, I have 2 amigurumis for you this week, and I'm sorry that it's not heavy on the amigurumi, but I was pushed for time quite a lot, and so I've just grabbed the 2 that I could find, and I thought that this would be really fun to show you, which was Wade the Umbrella Octopus. And I just love his ears, isn't it so cute? And I thought I will show you that one just because it's really, really lovely. Again, there is the link for the yarn if you want to buy that. There's hashtags for social media. The measurements for this one is 18.5 centimeters high and 21 centimeters wide, which is 7.25 inches by 8.25 inches. And the materials are Honey Bunny, the Hobie Honey Bunny yarn, and the gauge is 10 centimeters or 4 inches, which equates to 14 stitches. And although gauge doesn't really matter with amigurumi anyway, the pattern information is Meet Wade the Umbrella Octopus. Wade is an intermediate beginner crochet pattern using Hobie Honey Bunny yarn. The tentacles are worked in the round using this as low sew pattern that works up fairly quickly. The pattern is written in US terms, and the body of the octopus is worked from the top down. And that is all I have to say. But I just thought he was so cute with his ears like that and a lovely smile. So that is that one. And last but not least, I know I haven't shown this one on my channel before because I've looked at it every week and thought, no, it doesn't really look like a proper thing. You know, I am very much, it has to look the part. And that's just the way I look at things. But then I have to remember that there are cutesy things and I need to really show the cutesy things even if they don't look quite right. But this is Ruddock the Robin and the designer is Litley's Handmade by Hobie Design. Come on, tell me what you think. Is he cute? I do think he's cute. I just think I just don't get what the breast bit's all about, and the fact that robins don't have red faces. I didn't think it's just the red breast bit. Anyway, it is what it is. And the pattern information is that my patterns are tightly stitched with a smaller than average hook. This is to keep the rounds neat and prevent the stuffing from being seen. Use stitch markers to mark your rounds, and I mention in the pattern a few places where they help with situating Ruddock's features. There's hashtags for social media and to buy the yarn if you want to follow the link, and they're suggesting to use a crochet hook of 2mm, and it's Amigo Hobby, which is medium 3 weight, which is a DK because I have one ball which is red of the Amigo and it is extremely soft. It's really, really lovely. I haven't used it yet, but I do squish it quite often. And you just need some soft stuffing, embroidery needle, stitch markers, scissors, and 2 safety eyes of 10mm, or you can embroider your own. So there he is. And that brings me to the end of this edition of Free Pattern Friday. So I'm sorry it's late and I keep apologising, but at the end of the day I feel like I need to. I am sorry, but all in all, we got there in the end. And I'm sorry that if I have repeated some of the patterns that you have seen before in past weeks, but I've been doing this for so long and it's really hard to remember off the top of my head when I'm searching whether I've done it or not. And generally I know because they stick in my mind, but there's the odd one that obviously isn't going to, because I have shown you hundreds and hundreds since I started my Free Pattern Friday videos. So of course I'm just doing my best and I'm getting there and just showing up, and that's what I can do really. Anyway, I won't bore you. I will just ask you to put your favourites in the description box, in the comment box, like I always do. I will put the patterns into the description box in the morning, on Saturday morning. I will get there, but I just haven't got time tonight because I'm desperate to do a little bit of crochet so that I can catch up, and it does take me quite a while. All I wanted to do was make sure that you had the information out there, and if you take a note of it yourself you can always go searching for it, but I will put them in there tomorrow morning, I promise. So like I say, tell me what you like, and tell me if you've got anything that you want me to look for specifically. If there's anything different that you want me to search for, give me some ideas and then I can show you. But at the moment I'm just doing from my point of view. So if you do, you know, what I like. So if you do want anything searched for, then I will search for it for you and just put my take on what you are looking for, just to see if you like it, of course. So do let me know if there is anything and I will do my best. So keep the likes coming. Subscribe if you would like to see more. If you like what my channel consists of, it is free to subscribe and it helps my channel grow. and it just means then that you get notified of all my videos. You don't, you know, it's not necessarily hassling you all the time, so don't worry. And just connect with me, because I love to chat. I am slightly behind in my comments because I did see today that I have 3 or 4 that I haven't answered, but I will catch up with them when I can. I am busy getting things ready for my Monday video now, and so I need to jump to it. But take care everyone, and I will see you again on Monday. Take care. Bye.